Hi everybody, Jo here again. Thanks so much for popping in. How's today going? Hope it's going okay. Now, what I thought I'd do this evening for our little catch up is I've been asked to make a card that's suitable for Easter with a religious theme. So I thought I'd come up with this idea, but if it's not something you would do, don't worry because you can change it up and make a hanging garland with it. You know, when we come in with inspiration, we're really just wanting to whet your crafty appetite. So it might be the actual design isn't something you're going to make, but it might just give you an idea of where you could take it. So think of all the other shapes. I mean, obviously I started with a cross shape. I'm thinking Easter. But then I thought of all my lovely foliage stamps. And often it's a good time to look at your stamps and see what you've got. I mean, obviously, you know me. There's always a wreath in there somewhere, a beautiful circular design. But this is what I've come up with. And it's on an A6 card blank, just a white. And as always, I've decorated the envelope. So I hope you'll make yourselves comfortable and join me. And this is just such a lovely, I know quite a lot of you make cards for charities and for your local church for fundraising. And this would be a lovely one to make. So I'm going to start with one of our A6 pieces of Multifarious card. Now I know this is the size, and I have been asked this, of my actual, if I bring it back in, sorry, of my actual A6 card blank look. And you could put it on. What I tend to do is I wouldn't trim it at the beginning. I've trimmed mine a little, look. I tend to make the design and then trim it just in case I haven't got it central, because chances are, oh, I'm going to sneeze, excuse me. Oh, excuse me. That came from my boots, didn't it? I do apologise. Good job I've got some tissues here, so just excuse me. Right. Okay, we're sorted. So, as I was saying, I will make the design first and then trim it as I need to, just in case we've gone off centre a little bit. So, we'll pop that to one side. And the first thing I did was look at my stamps and then also look at my Versafine Clair ink pads to see what I was going to use. And I'm going to start with Shady Lane, or Shady Lady as she's now been called. And this lovely Climbing Ivy. Now this is one of my older stamps. But what I love, in my head, I went looking for a stamp that I had almost a long and a short version of. You know, when I put it on my, and I thought, yeah, that's the one. But as you can see, look, this is probably one of the first stamps I ever got. And look at that. Considering I do clean my stamps, it doesn't look it from that, does it? So I'm going to start with my deeper colour because this is going to be in the background. This is almost like the bones of my design. And I'm just going to turn my card round. And I want it slightly to the top, but I'm just hopefully trying to get it in the middle. And the reason I've left it slightly to the top is then I've got room at the base to put a sentiment. I mean, again, we've got a lovely sentiment stickers. We've got our heartfelt verses. So I'm thinking of putting with love on. But I often wait till I've finished. So there's that one. And we have the smaller one. And I love the way it's got these beautiful dangly bits. So I'm going to ink this one up. Now, when I looked, it wasn't almost wide enough if I popped it there. So I just want to bring it out a little bit further, look. So I'm thinking there. And then I'm going to ink it up again. But only ink the last little bit. And just pop it. Try and make it quite symmetrical. She says, yeah, we've got a line there. I'm okay with that. It's quite funny, amazing how much you sort of test yourself and you think, right, I'm happy with that shape. So at this point, I decided to go for my Verdant because that's my lighter green. And we've got this gorgeous vine set. And on the set, I've got this lovely little stamp and I love this. because it's a leaf, but B, I always think this is a heart. And for me, it's like Easter. I'm sending a heart, I'm sending love. So that's why this one works really well for me. So what I thought is, if I stamp it at the edge, look, I can accentuate the end of each sort of edges of my cross. So I'll pop one there. Again, I'm just going to turn it round, and I want one up here. And then one just at the base over my lovely dangly bits. And then I want a couple just sort of in the background. And again, you can use first and second generation. So maybe just some coming down here. Don't want to overcook it. That's the thing when you're doing this, is don't overdo it with any of your stamps, because you want to build it up. And we can always fill if there's any spaces. So we've got space here, but I can always fill that with another stamp. And if I need, I can come back and add this. So I'm going to leave that now, and we'll see how we go. We may come back and add another one, as I say, but let's see. So the next stamp I'm going to use is on the Foliage set, and it's this one. I used this one yesterday, so it was still on my desk from yesterday. But I'm going to come in now with the Golden Meadow. Again, I'm thinking lovely spring colours. Now, what I have to be mindful with this is the stem. So when I'm stamping it, look, and I'm going to stamp it here, try and keep the stem actually in the sort of body of the floral design. Does that make sense? I don't want to stamp it there and the stem be poking out. Just something else to think about. And we'll have some. And again, I don't want to overdo it. Definitely need another one there. Just a little bit here. Yeah, again, I like that shape. I think I'm gonna stop there, because I've got one more stamp that I'm going to use. And this one, I was looking through my pound stamps. I have them in a little, I don't know about you, do you store them separately? I do. And it's a mini leaf creeper, and I don't often use this, but I wanted to bring in the orange, the summertime, but I didn't want it to be too sort of in your face. And I thought this gorgeous little stamp would be perfect. Again, it's got quite a stem on it, so I need to be mindful of that. So I'm going to start with one at the top there, and I'll pop one at the base there. And then on the sides, I'm just going to put a couple, yeah. You see how it's building up, but I don't want it to be too orange. Don't want the orange to take over. So I'll have 1, 2 there. And then let's just have maybe one more. And let's have a look. Now we do need one there, I think. So, but I just want the edge of one, so I don't want it all. Yeah. But I do need something just here. So I am actually going to go back in with that lovely leaf stamp that we used first off. But it's nice because, can you see, for me there is that, just that little bit of a gap there. And it doesn't matter that I'm adding this at the end. It's funny with stamps, you can, just because you do it at the end, it doesn't mean it's going to look forward. And maybe just a second generation there. Yes, I like that. That's helped with that shape, hasn't it? So maybe on this side we'll do the first generation at the bottom and the second generation at the top. Yes, I much prefer that. Now, if you wanted any hanging bits, don't forget on the Foliage set, We've got the lovely, lovely hanging catkins that you could add. In fact, just to be different, let's just add... You know, I am a funny, trying to do the same thing twice. I just don't do it. I alter things. I don't know about you, but we can alter this one a little, can't we? And you know what? If we don't like it as much as the first one, well, at least we can go, we don't like it as much as the first one. But I'm just thinking maybe some little, just some little. It's got a bit of ink on my block there, so I just need to be mindful of that. Yeah, I like that with that, so I'm going to stop there now. So just to recap on your colours, the first one's your Shady Lane, that's the darker green, and I usually team that up with the Verdant, the lighter green. And then we're into the Golden Meadow and the Summertime. Now, I'm just going to give that a bit of a blot because obviously it's a slower drying ink, and I just want to add a little bit of colour, a little bit of the elements, the Sahara behind it. But I don't want to smudge that lovely detail we've got. So if I get rid of that, and I'm going to use the number 3 brush. And as always, I'm just going to mix it in the lid. And I'm just going to come in sort of on the body of the stamping and just do circular motions and almost just go around the edge. Now, if you're not happy with the shape you've got, this is a great way of just adding a little bit more to that shape. Or if you've got any gaps, but you don't want to put an extra stamp in, you think it may spoil it, just put extra ink in there. And I know you're asking why I didn't do this at the beginning, and that's because I wasn't sure how far my image was going to go. So it's like down here, I just want to have a little bit, just extending it. And for me, it just takes the white away. And it's not as stark then if I bring it a bit closer. Now I am aware, look, I know you're shouting at me, look at that little bit of ink, and that was off the corner of my block. But don't worry, I'm going to put some little Posca splats and it'll hide that. And we won't tell anybody, will we? But you see how that ink in the background, can you just see how it helps that shape? Now, if you're somebody who doesn't like your Posca splats, stop at this point. If the person you're sending it to likes glitter, you could pop some stickles on, or some of our lovely holographic glitter, or the one I was using the other day, which was the, got it behind me, the Vintage Shimmer. That, because it's got the greeny tones, that would look beautiful, wouldn't it? So again, the finishing touches are up to you. I'm going to leave this without glitter because I don't want to add any glitter to this one. But I am going to add a little bit of the Posca. I'm going to give it a shake. And then I'm just going to come in with my stencil brush. And I'm going to add it really just over the design to start off with. Lovely, just trailing down there. But then, where I've got my little splat there, look. And then just to complement that, a little bit over here. There we go, not too much, don't want to overcook it with that. And I just think that is so beautiful, so elegant. I really hope you like it. And I do think, you know, if you needed a sympathy card, and unfortunately we do have to make them, maybe you could do this in browns and greys or black and grey. I mean, there's an idea. And again, I know they're not nice cards to make, but maybe if you made one and had it in readiness. But I do think this really lends itself, well, for me anyway, and I'm hoping you agree. So that's on the card, not trimmed down. And here's the one that I trimmed down a little onto my card. So I'm hoping you have a go at this. Like I say, maybe mix the colours up a little bit, but also let me know what you think. Maybe make another shape, make another design. You know what, if it sets those crafty juices off, I'd love to know. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed spending time with me. And as always, thank you for doing that. I do appreciate it, and I do appreciate all your comments, and I'll try and get back and answer them as soon as I can. So you have a lovely evening, if it is evening. If it's morning, enjoy the rest of your day. I'll see you again soon. Love and hugs from me. Bye for now.